you want Mavs basketball to return, hit that thumbs up icon. We are just around the corner from the 25-26 NBA season. Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving later in the year. I can't wait to watch the boys in blue play once again at the American Airlines Center. If you're with me, hit that thumbs up icon and let's get into today's show. Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. Jeffrey Cooperstein here with you guys. And look, man, there's been more and more chatter on the LeBron James front as this week has gone on. So I would be remiss if I didn't talk about it with you guys once again. And what really struck me was Dave McMenamin of ESPN, who is one of the most tapped-in Lakers insiders there is, says the Mavs would only be interested in signing LeBron if he was bought out by the Lakers. The Mavericks have zero interest in a trade. And obviously, that's for multiple reasons. Number one, they don't want to gut their roster. Number two, LeBron's making $53 million, so the Mavericks would have to try to match that salary. Look, LeBron still had a fantastic season last year. He still lights up the stat sheet, over 8 assists, about 8 rebounds, over 50% from the field, shooting it better from 3 as time goes on. Still played in a crazy 35 minutes a night last year at age 39/40. And look, man, I still think he's a very good player in this league. You could say he's top 15 or 20, and I wouldn't bat an eye whatsoever. Again, he opted into his $52.6 million player option for next season, so he'll become a free agent in the summer of 2026, but he possibly could become a free agent sooner if the Lakers and LeBron decide to negotiate a buyout. And I do think that is certainly on the table at this point in time. I think everything is on the table with LeBron. I think the Lakers could try and negotiate a trade to a different team for LeBron. I think it's possible, and probably most likely, LeBron stays with the Lakers and plays out this final year. And I do think a buyout is a possibility if the situation between LeBron and the Lakers becomes so untenable. And if that were to be the case, I do think that the Mavericks would be high up on the list of LeBron's preferred destinations. Why, you may ask? How about Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Jason Kidd, Frank Vogel? The Mavericks are hiring 2 more assistants that have Lakers and LeBron James ties that we'll talk about here in a moment as well. But I also do think that this is for certain. It is LeBron's last season with the Los Angeles Lakers. And as Brian Windhorst said, he thinks that this is the beginning of the end. And this is the first signs of them just trying to drift apart from each other. And he even said that the trade for Luka Doncic was the first sign of LeBron and the Lakers trying to drift apart from each other. So, look, if LeBron somehow gets bought out by the Lakers, I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think LeBron wants to forego any of that money. But if he does, I do think the Mavericks would be high up on LeBron James' list. I think he wanted to leave Los Angeles this summer, to be honest with you, but he did not want to leave that money, the $52.6 million. He wants all of that. If he were to get bought out by the Lakers, they would have to negotiate it where LeBron would have to forfeit some of that money. I don't think that's happening. But let me know down in the comment section if he does get bought out, and I do think it's pretty unlikely that happens. Do you want the Mavericks to sign LeBron? If you do, type S for sign. If you do not, type P for pass. Let me know what you guys think. If he is bought out, I want to say that the Mavericks are among like the 2 or 3 favorites to potentially land LeBron here in free agency. I think it would be the Mavericks. I think it would be the Cleveland Cavaliers, and those are probably your 2 most likely destinations for LeBron if he were to become a free agent this offseason. Again, I just don't see it happening. I think the Lakers want to keep LeBron for this final season, and I think LeBron values a chance to win in LA in the year in his age 40 season where he's playing a record. I believe it's his 23rd year going into the league, and I think the situation is going to end up that LeBron ends up playing out the season with the Lakers, and then maybe if he decides he wants to play another season, will be a free agent next summer. We'll talk about the coaching staff changes with all the Lakers ties here in just a moment. But before we do that, we have Cooper Flagg jerseys available for you guys right now at chatsports.com/Flagg. Flagg's rocking the number 32. Shout out to OJ Mayo. But we have those available right now when you go to that link, chatsports.com/Flagg. And when you use that link, Fanatics will send us a part of the proceeds as well. So you're helping out the channel while getting yourself a dope Cooper Flagg jersey. Hurry before those run out because I'm sure they will soon. Chatsports.com/Flagg. That link is in the comments and the description of today's show. The Mavs coaching shakeup continues with a bevy of coaching moves that happened yesterday for the Dallas Mavericks. Most notably, God Shammgod officially joined the Orlando Magic and our guy Jamal Mosley's staff over there in Orlando. And he posted this statement on Instagram. And he was one of the favorite people around the Mavericks organization as he joined the staff under Rick Carlisle in 2016 and departs here in 2025 to go be a coach with the Orlando Magic. As you can see his statement on screen right there, he goes to thank Mark Cuban, to thank everyone who made Dallas home to him. God Shamgon, one of the most respected people here in the NBA. So shout out to Sham. Hopefully he gets what he wants out of his new job in Orlando and eventually becomes an NBA head coach. I think that would be absolutely sick. It also sounds like Jared Dudley is on his way to Denver to join David Adelman's staff over there with the Nuggets. JJ Barea also already joined the Nuggets staff, so add another Maverick coach, even though Barea wasn't a Mavericks coach, but with Mavericks ties, heads over to the Denver Nuggets. So that leaves another opening on the bench, which is going to be filled by Mavs consultant, now lead assistant head coach, Frank Vogel, who's going to be the number one assistant here on the Dallas Mavericks coaching staff. Mavs also hired Jay Triano a couple of weeks ago. He'll be the number two, and Vogel will be the lead assistant, probably in charge of the defense. As I know Vogel was a consultant last year and wasn't a full-time member of this Mavs coaching staff, but he did help a lot with the defensive game planning, specifically for that Sacramento Kings game in the NBA play-in. Frank Vogel was basically the mastermind behind their defensive game plan, and the Mavs went out there and kicked the Kings' ass in Sacramento. So I think Vogel will bring a lot of great things to the staff. Obviously, the 2020 head coach of the NBA champion Los Angeles Lakers. So I certainly think he'll bring much needed experience and much needed value on the defensive end to the Mavericks. Another guy we need to talk about here is Phil Handy, who is a candidate to replace God Shamgod. Handy, like Shamgod, is a player development guy, but he is one of the most respected voices in the NBA. He has the ears of LeBron James. He has the ears of Anthony Davis. And most importantly, he has the ears of Kyrie Irving. Him and Kyrie have a super close relationship. I believe Handy was a coach in Cleveland when Kyrie and LeBron were both there as well. So they have a relationship dating back to then. And I think this would be the perfect God Shamgon replacement. Now, it also was reported that the New York Knicks would be interested in bringing in Phil Handy, so keep an eye on that one. But I really hope the Mavs could get that deal done, as I think that would be a massive, massive replacement for God Shamgon. And you may be asking, like, why are we talking about all this coaching stuff? And it really does matter as far as, like, the cohesion of the team goes and as far as the relationships and their ability to get the best out of the players. So I do think this is important stuff. Is it as important as the roster? Maybe not, but I do think that the teams with the best coaching staffs and the best front offices, those are the teams that win championships. So keep an eye on Phil Handy as well. And then Mike Penberthy is also going to join the Mavericks from the Lakers, and he'll be the number 3 assistant as well. That one has been rumored for a while, but that one is going to become official here pretty soon. So the Mavericks have pretty much a full coaching staff shakeup here with a brand new batch of assistants. And I talked about this earlier. I think this is a good thing with Jason Kidd trying to get some fresh voices and fresh ideas into the locker room, and specifically with Phil Handy and Mike Penberthy's relationship with Kyrie and Anthony Davis, respectively. That will help smooth over the losses of God Shamgod, of Jared Dudley, and of others that have left this organization. I really believe that this is a relationship business right now, and the Mavericks are trying to be the relationship team. And that's evidenced by the hiring of these guys who were all on the Lakers 2020 coaching staff. I mean, just look at this. You have 5 guys on this coaching staff that all had deep Dallas Mavericks ties. Frank Vogel was the head coach. He's now the lead assistant in Dallas. Obviously, Jason Kidd, now the Mavericks head coach. Mike Penberthy and Phil Handy are rumored to be on this Mavericks coaching staff. Greg St. John was on the Mavericks coaching staff for a couple of years before he moved on last season. So there are a bunch of ties from the Lakers to the Mavericks, and some are calling it the Dallas Lakers era. I've seen it on Twitter, and I kind of like that. But let's hopefully this is the Dallas Mavericks era with Cooper Flagg, and the Mavs try to win here in 2025-26, because I got to say, I do think this team could be pretty damn good if they luck out with the health and other things like that. So let's hopefully get some health. Let's finalize this coaching staff. Let's see what Cooper Flagg can do in the Summer League and get us to October when we start playing some real hoops. What is the percent chance the Mavericks win the 2026 NBA title? If you think they have no chance or a very, very small chance, type 1%. If you think they're going to do it for sure, type 100 down there in the comment section. And that will do it for today's show, guys. Appreciate you for tuning in to Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. If the Mavs make a move, we have you covered right here, youtube.com/MavsTV. We'll see you guys soon.